Hey there YouTube, Boomerang507 here. I wanted to do a video kind of in response and expanding on a video that Golden Finger Picker and Florida Picking Queen made a little bit ago, or a few days ago, about struggling sellers or new sellers and advice. One of the things I wanted to mention is sometimes, well, a lot of times experts will say, it takes the same amount of time to list a $15 item as it does to list a $50 item. Therefore, I pass right by those $15 items and only sell the $50 items. That is absolutely true. It does take the same amount of time to list a $15 shirt as it does to list a $50 shirt. However, if you're a new seller and just starting out, one, you might not find a $50 shirt. Two, you might not be able to sell a $50 shirt based on, if you have 47 feedback. Maybe not. Maybe you will, maybe not. Depends on the shirt, depends on the buyer. You don't know. My response to that is I still sell $15 items. Usually because they're small, they're easy to ship, and I'm still making a profit, and a profit is a profit. If I only waited for the $50 items or the $100 items, I wouldn't be successful, and I wouldn't have the amount of inventory I have. I don't want to say that it's not about the profit, because it is, or we wouldn't be doing this. But sometimes you also have to work with what you have. In my area, I find $50 items, I find $100 items, I find even more dollar amount items, but not very often. I find more of the $15 items. I've joked multiple times on my channel that my store should be called the $15 shirt store because I sell the hell out of $15 shirts. You have to go with what works for you, and what works for you might not work for other people for a number of reasons. Some of them are completely mysterious because eBay is just weird sometimes. For example, I'll give you a couple examples, and kind of different in a different way. First, one of the first thrifting trips out to buy inventory to resell, I found a Ralph Lauren polo, and I thought, okay, great. Ralph Lauren is a known brand. I know this brand. I know it's sought after. I'm going to pick it up. And I picked it up for $3 or $4 and put it up at $15, and it sat. And it sat, and it sat, and it sat. And not long after, on a group that I was in, somebody had posted, oh, you need to buy all the Ralph Lauren polos you can find because I sell them like crazy. As soon as I sell them, they're gone within days. And I'm selling them for $18. And I thought to myself, how the hell is he selling them for $18 if I can't move mine for $15? You might think, oh, he might be lying. He wasn't. For some reason, he was able to sell Ralph Lauren polos like it was water to somebody in the desert. I don't know. What works for someone might not work for you. Sometimes there are absolutely no reasons why, except for eBay's weird, mysterious reasons. Don't worry about it. You have to find what works for you. The other thing is, sometimes the mix of items that you have, clearly they're based on what you can find, and what you can find can really vary. Even just traveling as little as 10 miles or 20 miles. I live in a town of about 5,000 people. That's about 10 miles south of a town of 100,000 people. In my town of 5,000 people, there is a thrift store. If I tried to shop at her thrift store for things to resell, I wouldn't be in this business. I wouldn't even pay her prices for things for use for myself. It's ridiculous. And so then I thought, okay, well, if I go to garage sales, I'd be okay in May. Then the rest of the year I'd be struggling because our citywide garage sale is in May, and the rest of the year you might have one on a weekend or 3 the next. It just wouldn't work. So clearly I go 10 miles north and go to the town 110,000 people, and there's lots of thrift stores. Well, I don't know about lots, but there's a few. There's 2 Salvation Armies, there's a Goodwill, a Savers that's lost their mind. Excuse me. There's a couple of community, one called the Community Clothesline, that has really good prices on stuff, but it can be really more miss than hit, but I still check it out because sometimes you never know. However, when I travel for my son's hockey, we go to a metro area that's much larger, and there's thrift stores abound. One of those thrift stores I visited, the shelves, it was a Goodwill. The shelves had literally nothing but garbage. But they had miles and miles of clothes. Miles and miles of clothes. 7 miles away, there was another Goodwill that was like 2/3 of the store was shelves, and it was literally overflowing with all kinds of great stuff to sell. It was a gold mine. And then the other third of the store was some clothes, and it was okay. Yeah, you might find an item or two for clothing. So it can really, really vary. It can also vary in different parts of the country. I've seen people post bolos for Hudson Bay. I've never seen a Hudson Bay item in my area. Never. I know about it. So if I ever do run into it, I know to pick it up. For example, I picked up a pollen shark sweater not too long ago. I think I showed it in a haul video. I'm not sure. Maybe I didn't. I don't remember. But it never heard of the brand. I'd never heard of it. But I looked it up on my phone and found that it's popular in Europe. Also seemed to be popular in the eastern part of the country. The thrift stores around here had no idea about it, so they put like $5 or $6 on it, and I turned around and sold it for $50. It can really vary, so don't get down on, never being able to find a Robert Graham shirt. You might never, or you might only find one ever. I've never found a Starbucks City mug. I probably won't ever. People around here just don't care about that kind of a thing. So my Starbucks has never ever carried them. I'm a white girl. I go to Starbucks. Come on, right? I know these things. So yeah, don't get discouraged about that. You need to get good at what you can find in your area. And if that means it's $15 shirts, so it's $15 shirts. Get really good at it and sell the hell out of them. A profit is still a profit. You don't have to copy what somebody else is doing to be successful. Really, what you really want to do to be successful is to change your thinking, and look at things a different way. If you see somebody making money on something, analyze that. How are they making money on it? Where are they getting their product? Can you replicate that? If you can't, can you still use that information to make money on something similar? So yeah. So don't get too hung up on, I only need to find the $50 items, and, if I'm going to send something into Amazon, I shouldn't send in an item that's only going to make me $5 worth of profit. Well, if you could find that item, 100 times over, that's $500 profit. Profit is profit. I still pick up those $10 items all the time, almost every time I go. And for a while I was thinking, yeah, I shouldn't do that anymore. But you know what? I can't resist, because it's still easy profit. It's usually something that's super easy to pop in a padded mailer and ship it out, or stick it in a poly mailer and ship it out, or it'll fit in a flat rate box and I can ship it out, or it ships in a whatever. It's easy to just send it and go. I want to move things. I want to turn things over. It's the churn. It's all about the churn. So yeah, don't let that kind of a thing cloud your thinking into, you know, that's the only way you can do it. That isn't the only way you can do it. If everybody did it the same way, nobody would be successful at it, except for maybe the first couple of guys. It's almost kind of like that a multi-level marketing kind of a thing. You know, the first people in are usually the ones that are making this crazy amount of money, but then somebody that comes along, you know, a few years later, yeah, they'll have a little bit of success at it, but not as great, and nothing totally crazy. You know, you kind of need to find your own way. That's just kind of how it is. Absolutely. And I'm not saying not to try to copy some of the things, because some of the things that they're doing are good, but you want to copy the practice and not necessarily do everything exactly the same. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that was helpful. I went to Goodwill last night and got such a ridiculous score that there is no way possible I could even fit it into one video. I might not even be able to fit it into 2 videos. I just want to hurry up and get it listed. It was a bunch of athletic clothing for all XXL, like Nike and Adidas and Reebok. Tons of it. I mean, like a big black hefty bag full of just that, and that doesn't even include all the other cool stuff I found. So I really want to get that processed and get it listed. So yeah, I need to get my butt moving here. So anyway, I hope that was helpful. I hope you like this video. I welcome comments. I haven't been super great about responding, but I do read them all. I'm usually thinking something in my head. I just don't always post it on the computer. I'll try to get better about that. Tell me what you think. Be sure to like, subscribe, share this video to someone you think it might help. Thank you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.